Hi everybody, it is April and I am back today to share another tutorial. I was actually just surfing around the Altenew website looking at all of their lovely products, and I saw this rose stencil and I thought, oh man, wouldn't that make a great cutout? So I'm going to walk you through the steps I take in order to turn one thing into something else. So right here we've got this mega rose stencil, and I'm going to go ahead and make this screen bigger, and I'm going to click it so that the image is a little bigger. Whoa, and then I made it really big, and I don't know how I did it. Somehow my little mouse does some funky stuff. Hold on. Let's refresh and see if I can get that to be a little smaller. Okay, I'm going to right click it and I'm going to copy the image. Let's see if that does what I want it to do. If not, I'll start over. So I right clicked, I copied the image, and now I am going into my Silhouette Studio software, and I am going to paste that image. Okay, and it came in really small, which is fine. So I'm going to drag him up to the upper right hand corner, and then I'm going to click on it and make it bigger, because what I want to do is I want to trace it and make it a cuttable image. So I've got this bigger. I could make it bigger if I wanted to. It's not really necessary. Then I'm going to go over to my menu bar across the right hand side, actually up and down the right hand side in Silhouette Studio, and I'm going to open the trace panel. And then I'm not sure if tracing by color is an option in the Silhouette Studio that comes with your machine, or that's just the free software. So I'm going to go ahead and trace it the old way, and then I'll trace it using the color for those who have the color option. So you click Select Trace Area. I'm going to highlight the white part. So I'm going to try and stay inside that gray square, just simply so I don't have to do more cleanup. So now I've got the area traced that I want, or I'm sorry, the area highlighted that I want to trace, and there's not much yellow. So here it defaults to solid fill. I'm going to click outline, and then I'm going to up my threshold. And let's see what happens. And sometimes my machine doesn't move as fast as my fingers are clicking. Okay. Let's turn it down a little bit. I have outlined what I want, but I have extra things that I'm going to have to clean up, and I'm not going to get around that. Okay, so essentially what I want is a nice bright yellow line around where the image will cut, and if there are some excess jagged lines in there, that's okay. All I have to do is clean that up. And I think at 59%, let's make it in 61, I think we're good. So then I'm going to click the trace, which is the butterfly on the inside and the outside. I don't just want to trace the outer edge, I want to trace all the little bits and pieces. So there it's traced, and I'm going to drag the rose image off to the side, and you can see there's cleanup that has to be done, but to me it's worth it because I would love to cut this baby out. So right now it is all one image, it's not different pieces and parts, and I'm going to make it even bigger so that it's easier to get around. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to release the compound path. So that is going to make a whole lot of little bitty images. First thing I'm going to do is I want to get rid of this outside box. So I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to delete. And that got rid of some funky stuff. Now when you're working with images like this, a lot of times it's easier if you zoom in. Be careful not to grab something and drag it that you don't want to drag, because every single teeny tiny image in this is separate. And then, oh, okay. I was thinking this red line was part of my image. It's not. It's part of the mat. So now I want to keep this outside image, which has nice straight lines, but this inside, I want to get rid of it. So I'm going to show you what I did. Within this image, make a hand, click, and then click delete. Now I've got all these little circles, dots, whatnot. I'm going to highlight, click them, and get rid of them. And again, this is very tedious. I realize that, and some people won't want to take the time, but I do. Alright, so I'm clicking within this jagged part, selecting it, and deleting, and deleting, and deleting, and deleting, and deleting. And this, I mean, it takes a little time, but when you have the image, you save it, and it's there forever. Now these aren't perfect. You know, these lines, some of them are a little, they're not perfectly straight. So it's not going to be like your perfect die cut, but I just think this rose is beautiful. So I'm going to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And what I do is I just work my way around the image and just slowly but surely clean it up. And I could probably, depending on where these little dots are, yeah, see, I'm not going to be able to drag. I thought maybe I could choose several of them, but it's just easier to click each and clean it up. And you get a lot of bang for your buck on these images that are in the center, because it cleans up a whole lot. As you can tell, there's not really a method to my madness. I'm just clicking and cleaning. Okay, so that's going to take a little time, and I know you probably don't want to watch that whole thing, but that's essentially what you do, is you go through the entire image and you clean it up. And if you want, you can do the big pieces first and then go and get the little pieces. You know, it's all in what you want to do. But before you know it, the whole thing will be cleaned up. You'll have this beautiful rose to cut out, and you won't even remember the trauma that you experienced while you were cleaning up this image. Okay, so once I'm done, I know it's not cleaned up yet, but I want to show you what I will do when it's done. I will group this whole image back together, because right now, if I drag anything, it is not connected to the rest of this image. So this would be out of line. Now I'm going to click undo so that it goes right back to where it was. So before I do anything, once I get my image all cleaned up, see, I keep seeing little bitty spots, and I know there's all kinds of stuff that needs to be cleaned up. I just can't help myself. I'm going to click in the upper left hand corner and drag over the entire image, and I am going to group it. So this is now all one image, and then I can save it to my Silhouette library. I can resize it, and I can cut it out of whatever medium I choose to cut it out of. I can also, with the Studio Business Edition, save this as an SVG. And then I can use my Cricut Explorer or my Cricut Maker to cut this out. So I usually drop down, I pick SVG files, I pick Altenew because that's the company that made this stencil, and rose stencil. I drop this down, I choose SVG, and I click OK, and it's saved as an SVG. Thank you for stopping by. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos with this type of content, please subscribe. Have a great day.